Hello, my name is Alan, and this is FND Insights. Today is Wacky Fun Wednesday, where we take the funniest stories of my FND symptoms and share with you guys. So, without further ado, let's go. One of the funniest things that happened to me recently was I was eating soup and everything, and there's a person sitting right here. I was sitting right here on a stool, and I was at a table. It was like a high stool, and I was eating. All of a sudden, my hand jerked like this a little bit, and I got soup in my pants. But the funniest thing was, I almost hit the person in the face with soup. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And they're like, "Oh no, it's cool, man." And it was such a everyone was laughing. It was like a really funny time. So the next one that was funny was actually a couple of months ago. It was actually in August. I was going to the state fair, and I was actually developing functional tics. They're kind of similar to Tourette syndrome, but there's no structural damage to the brain. It's just the function of the brain and how it's basically FND is causing tics. So that word of the day, because it's not similar to Tourette's where it's all the time, where it comes and go. Like, FND comes and goes. With Tourette's is all the time, I think. But what happened was my word was milky that day. I was going milky, milky, and we were going near the cows because I was meeting with my young adults group, and I was at the cow arena, and there's all these cows, and I was saying milky, milky like that to all the cows, and people were staring at me, and it was hilarious because they were like smirking and making like laughing a little bit, and my group was like, "Yeah, Alan," it was funny. It was a really fun moment, and it was a funny time for me. The third and final story, guys, is also about functional tics. So this is actually a couple days later. I think like a week later, I was still having functional tics. And this time it was getting so bad. I was having episodes where it's constant, constant all the time. I know last section I said it's a constant all the time, but for me, I have go through episodes and like periodically I go through different symptoms periodically. So I go through a cycle. So I was at the highest point of having functional tics. It was going super bad, and I developed cuss words. So I'm not gonna say the cuss word, but I was going to the hospital because of it, and I went to the ER, and we were checking with the lady, and I was cussing all the time, and they're like, "Whoa," and they're like, and I was like, "No," my mom's like, "Don't apologize." My mom's like, "We apologize. Anything we say that he says is," and they're like, "Oh, that's fine. My kid has Tourette's and stuff," and they were talking. The lady was talking about stuff, and I was like, I was saying cuss words, and she started laughing. I can't really say the cuss words because I don't want to say cuss words on YouTube. But they were talking about the restaurant that they want to go to. They're like, which one do we want to go to? We'll let you decide. So there's like this one or this one. And when I said the cuss word, they're like, oh, we're not gonna go to that one. And it was such a hilarious time. I think you guys would have to be there to be to appreciate what happened because it was super funny. What was going on? Everything was perfectly timed. I wasn't doing it on purpose or anything because functional text you don't do it on purpose. But it was hilarious. So that was my final story. Alright, guys, that's the end of this edition of Wacky Wednesday for FND stories. Join us next week for Wednesday for more wacky stories for FND. And please like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.